Maryland leaders are promoting a new energy package, including rebates of $150 per household, while energy costs continue to rise. Supporters say it provides relief. Critics say it's short term policies that will drive long term costs. The bill reduces surcharges now, but scales back energy efficiency programs and may increase future demands and costs. Mark, this bill offers a whopping $150 rebate, but it's funded by shifting costs, cutting efficiency programs, and potentially raising long term energy demand. Is this relief or is it a political rebate that masks a structural broken energy policy?
Well, it masks a structural program that doesn't make a lot of sense. And the real challenge is that we have not built enough capacity going forward. And we'll talk about that later on. And what we're doing is kind of cannibalizing this fund that's been created as part of the effort to reach net zero that has escalated the costs for Maryland and energy use.
Well, a lot of states are moving that deadline for net zero from 35 to 40 and even outward. Is there any consideration in Maryland to do that?
Not really. And it's interesting given the thrust of policies nationally, it's really kind of hard not to eventually make that recognition that we're not going to achieve it. But I think that's really one of the that's one of the challenges for Maryland energy policy is the reluctance to acknowledge that fact.
So, Mike, families are seeing a bill spike from 100 to $500 a month, and while you can't blame the legislature for everything, isn't some immediate relief, even if imperfect, better than doing nothing while people struggle?
I think it is, but you've actually got to make that be consequential relief. I'm among those folks. My electric bill last month was $1,150. So if you give me the $150 rebate, I get back down to $1,000, which is still $500 more than I paid this time last year. So I think that if you're going to do something, you've got to do it. You've got to make it real, and you've got to. But more importantly, I think to Mark's point, you've got to make it lasting. And I think where we are right now, and it does. I mean, whether it's the Maryland legislature, the U.S. Congress, and others, we're creating nice feel-good type of one-time fixes that are really good sound bites, but we're not really addressing the core issues that need to get addressed. And we've got to come up with ways to be sustainable. We've got to come up with ways to have lasting policy changes. And we don't have the political will, I think, in most places to be able to address those issues head on.
Well, I guess that really goes to a broader question, and which is, is there enough expertise in the legislature to really address energy policy? I mean, if you have advocates on one side or the other, there's no commonality. Is where are we going to find some median discussion about the amount of electrical load that we need to generate and build? My goodness, we talk about the data centers endlessly. We need more electrical capacity. Where is I mean, do we have to reach a crisis before we meet in the middle? I guess is the question. Mark, for you.
Well, I was going to say, let me give you a two-word answer if I can, and that's natural gas. What we have not done, because of the effort to get rid of fossil fuels, we haven't acknowledged the role that natural gas can have, obviously replacing coal, which allows for CO2 reduction, but also to provide a cheap, affordable, dispatchable, with the dispatchable meaning it's available on demand, electric power. And as we phased out production in Maryland, we've eliminated the opportunity to have gas-fired plants, which would have addressed the issues that we're talking about.
So, Mike, Maryland and New York were one of the two states that banned fracking along the Marcellus Shale line, and Pennsylvania did not, and has seen very cheap energy coming from that sector of Marcellus Shale, the fracking there. Should Maryland reconsider the program and allow fracking in Western Maryland?
I mean, as again, we often come up with these as kind of binary choices. I don't think it's this or nothing else. I think that, as we've often said here, the reality is there is no single solution, and we need to be at a point where we're looking at all of those options and putting all of those alternatives on the table, and we're we're just not doing that. And so is that a piece that we should look at? Yes, it is. Does that solve the problem? No, it doesn't. And so how do we begin to bring those elements together, to your point, prior to us kind of bottoming out? And we're kind of, our trajectory right now is towards the bottoming out before we ever get to have the real conversation. And we're doing that on like 17 different issues at the same time.
So, exit question for both of you. Since this is, Wes Moore's proposal of $150, is he going to get any political bump from this? Does this play at all with the voters? Mark, you first, then Mike.
Well, this has
30
really
seconds.
resonated. The cost of electric power has really resonated with voters, and it's going to be a very significant issue this year.
Mike.
No, I don't think you do. I mean, I think I appreciate the notion that people are trying to do something, but to try and get accolades for $150 when you're seeing, 3 times that much in an energy bill in a given month, it's not going to, I don't think it's really going to get you much of anything.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Elections are coming up. We got primaries coming up in a couple months.